All right, I'm just finishing up at the gym, man. Chest day, the best day, man. I'm out here in the gym parking lot. I said, let me record this video, man. Quick financial video. We talking about investing in stocks. You know, I'm gonna break it down from a beginner level. You know what I'm saying? This is not some get rich quick scheme. I'm not some mega influencer. I'm not somebody coming on here, you know, trying to sell y'all a dream. You give me $500, I'll give you back $5,000. None of that, man. We talking about something that anybody can do, the regular Joe, man. Anybody, you know, that's making money. You know, you could put money into the stock market and invest your money and grow your money. The first thing, though, I want to tell y'all before you even get started investing in stocks is if you ain't got your financial house in order, you know, the basics, having an emergency fund, paying off credit card debt, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Don't invest any money that you can't afford to lose. If you know you need this money right here, you know, for daycare, the rent, the mortgage, stuff like that, you can't afford to lose that money right now, then this ain't the video right now for you. You know what I'm saying? You need to take a look, take a step back and look at your finances, man. See where your money's going as far as, are you paying off your debts? Do you have an emergency fund? You know, I read this article online, says the average American doesn't even have $1,000, you know, to cover a basic emergency expense. You know, like the car breaks down, the water heater goes out, stuff like that. You know, you lose your job, you ain't have no money to pay your bills, stuff like that now. But let's get right into the video though, man, you know. So, how do you start educating yourself about the stock market? You know, I learned about the stock market when I was young. I was in high school. I was fortunate enough to have a high school math teacher. He invested in stocks. He bought stocks. So he put me onto it, and I did a little homework myself. I was the type to go to the library and rent out books from the public library and just educate myself on the stock market. I think one of the first books I read back in the day, it was by Peter Lynch. It's called One Up on Wall Street. It's a basic investing book for beginners. You know, if you're trying to invest in the stock market, I've read like Dave Ramsey books over the year, Robert Kiyosaki, The Millionaire Next Door, The Richest Man in Babylon. There's a wealth of knowledge out here if you're interested in learning about how to invest in the stock market. A lot of the information too was online on Google. You can go on YouTube and watch videos. You know what I'm saying? So the information is out there. You know what I'm saying? The next step, once you have the information, it's not enough just to know the information. You have to put the play into motion. How do you do that, man? The easiest way for anybody to get started in the stock market, you know, investing, growing your wealth, is if you have a job, right? And they offer a 401k plan or some type of retirement account, you need to be putting money in that from day one. I tell all the new people that start at my job, you know, if from the get-go, try to put as much money in it as you can and don't touch it. Don't borrow from it unless it's in a complete emergency or you trying to do something like trying to buy your first house. Other than that, just leave it in there and let it grow. You know, a lot of companies too and employers, they offer what's called a match. So basically, let's say, for instance, you start your first real job and they have a retirement account, right? They tell you from the get-go, if you put in 5%, we'll match you 5%. So that's like 100% return on your investment. That's like free money. You put 5 in, we'll give you another 5. So if you have a job, right, and you're putting in to that and you're not putting enough up to get the match, then you're leaving free money on the table. You know, that's the easiest way to get started right there. You know, I tell people, you know, put it in, invest. There's different types of funds depending on who your job is. You know, I work for the federal government, so we have what's called a TSP, the Thrift Savings Plan. If you're a federal government employee, you know, you probably familiar with this. I put my money, I put like 20% into my retirement account every time I get paid every 2 weeks. I put mine in the C fund and the S fund. That's like the S&P 500. The S fund is like smaller cap stocks. You know, you could, like I said, this is just a beginner level video, man. Once you get into it more and more, you can start to educate yourself on more complex terms. I'm just trying to give y'all a baseline and get you into the habit of investing, buying stocks, you know, on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? So next, what stocks do I buy? You know, I tell beginners, you know, look at the stuff around you. What is everybody using? What is stuff that you see people doing on a daily basis? That's how you find good stocks to buy. You know, everybody and their friend, their mom, their family has an iPhone or an iPad, AirPods. So that tells you Apple may be a good company to buy in. A lot of people shop at Walmart. Walmart may be a good company to buy in. A lot of people spend their time on YouTube or Google searching. So that tells you Google could be a good company to invest in. What's some other stuff? Everybody and their grandma, their mama, they shop on Amazon. So that tells you Amazon could possibly be a good company to buy in. Look at the stuff you use, the products you use, stuff you may see that may grow in the future. We see a lot with electric cars growing, so that could tell you stuff like Tesla, Rivian, companies like that could be good companies to buy. What's some other good company? Everybody likes to wear Nikes, Jordans, so that tells you Nike could be a good company to invest your money in, man. There's so many different companies out here. The main thing is if you invest in, don't be the type of person, that's scared to invest. Like I say, if you can't afford to lose that money, then cool. It may not be for you just yet. Make sure you get all your financial affairs in order before you jump off the porch and start investing. But once you're ready to make that leap, you know what I'm saying? You have the potential to grow your money. It's not enough just to put your money in a savings account these days, or, be old school. And put every time you get paid, you take all your money out the bank and put it under the mattress. The way that inflation is going this day and the cost of living, you're losing money over time. You know what I'm saying? So you have to put that money to work, not to sleep. You know what I'm saying? This is the next thing, if you are not comfortable buying individual stocks. I mentioned some of these companies. Those are some companies I buy myself, like the Apples, the Teslas, the Googles, Nvidia. I buy a lot of tech stocks. If you're not comfortable or you don't want to do the homework, as far as picking individual stocks, they have what are called index funds, ETFs. What else do they have? Those are the main ones right there. You got like an IRA. What you do with those are you buy a certain amount, or you put in a certain amount every time. And instead of you having to do the homework as far as picking what companies you want to invest in, you buy a basket of companies. You know what I'm saying? So I leave that up to my job retirement plan. Like it's a fund, right? When I put my 20% in, I know that I'm buying majority of the market. So like I said, you want to take the guesswork out of trying to decide what stocks do you want to buy, or you like, oh, it's thousands of stocks, I don't know which one I want to buy. You could buy an S&P 500 IRA ETF, and what you do, like I said, once you put your money in, you buying the whole market. So let's say you buy an S&P 500 ETF, right? Once you buy it, you own the top 500 companies. You know what I'm saying? Just by buying that, and they do the math and the guesswork for you. The people the fund managers that manage that fund, whatever fund you decide on, they'll do all the picking what stocks they want to put in the fund, taking out stocks that aren't doing good. So all you got to do is put your money in and watch your money grow over time. You know what I'm saying? Some good fund ETF funds that I know for a fact is like Vanguard, Charles Schwab. There's so many different ones. I would tell you the best way to go about it is to look at who has the lowest expenses. So when you buy a fund like that, you have to pay certain fees. That's their management fees, to manage the fund. And you usually pay them like every quarter or once a year, So I try to look at who has the lowest fees, because I want to keep more of my money in my pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Vanguard is a good one right there, man. A lot of people know Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? That's a great one right there. I got a Vanguard account too that I throw about $100, $200 into when I get paid. So that's a good one right there to start with. You know what I'm saying? This is the next thing, man. A lot of people, they get started in the stock market, right? And they get scared or they panic when they start to lose money. Like I said, you can't put money in that you can't afford to lose. In the stock market, right, where there's greater potential for rewards and to grow your money, that means there's also greater potential to lose your money. So a lot of people, when they buy stocks, you see a lot of times when the stock market's up, all the stocks are just shooting up, everything's in the green. A lot of people are happy, man. Everybody, did you buy that stock? Did you buy this stock, man? But when it goes down, man, everybody quiet, everybody silent. Me, I'm the whole opposite, man. When the stock market goes down, I'm happy, because that way I get to buy the stocks that I like for a cheaper price. Look at it like this, right? Let's say you a type of person that likes to buy Air Jordans, or you like to buy the latest iPhone. Imagine you going into the Nike store or the Apple store and the latest iPhone is marked 20% off. If you look at stocks like that, man, you will never panic again, or you will change your mindset when the stock market goes down. You're buying the same product. This is an Apple iPhone, the latest one, or the newest pair of Air Jordans, and they're 20% off. Air Jordans, if you buy shoes, you a sneakerhead, they're usually like $250, $200 these days. If you go in there and let's say it's like $150, you be like, damn, I'm getting a steal. Look at stocks that way. Whatever stocks that you buying, when the stock market goes down, that gives you an opportunity, if you are a long-term investor, to buy even more and accumulate. It's called buying the dips. That's what it's all about. I have a long-term view when it comes to my investment portfolio. So, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Some people, they get short-sighted. They think investing in the stock market is like gambling. You in Vegas at the crap table, you just throwing dice, hoping for the best. No. If you want to build true wealth and build your finances, your portfolio up over time, it's being consistent. Being consistent. The easiest way too is what they call dollar cost averaging. So that way, when the stock market's up or down, it doesn't even matter. As long as you putting in a set amount every time you get paid or you get extra money. Let's say when you get your paycheck from work, you put in, let's say, $250 every 2 weeks. It doesn't even matter, because you're putting in the same amount, whether the stock market is up or whether it's down. And that way, you're growing your wealth over time. You know what I'm saying? The reason I stress this video, man, is because I don't want, it's a lot of people in my family. I come from a lot of people in my family didn't have money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be the type, I see in my family, you got to work forever. You 70, 80 years old, got to work because you don't know about money, or you didn't educate yourself about finances. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like you didn't save enough for retirement and over the years, your career, and now it's like you come to retire and you find that you can't even retire because you don't have enough money. Or if you do decide to retire, it's like you barely living, scraping by on crumbs. You relying on Social Security, you relying on government. This is the thing. Nobody is coming to save you. Understand that. The government, I don't want to have to rely on nobody, man. So that's why I try to stay serious about my finances right now. And this is the thing too, man. You have to educate other people. You have to, if you got kids in this world, you got to educate your kids. My daughter, she's 5 years old right now. I started her an investment account before she was even born. I started buying stocks for her, a college account, investment account. It's almost at what, $20,000. I just started with right before like 6 months before she was born. So 5 years later, it's at 20. Who knows, by the time she's 18, she decides she want to go to college. As long as she's doing good, that could be over 6 figures worth of money that I have put up for her. And like I said, as long as she's doing good and she's doing what she's supposed to do, I just want to help her to have a head start in life. Because my mom, I come from a single parent household. We didn't have a lot of money. My mom didn't really know about that, or she wasn't in the position to be able to offer me a head start in life like that. She couldn't pay for me to go to college, buy my first car, if I got married, put down money on the wedding, or help me buy my first house, stuff like that. I had to learn this stuff over the years, so if you watching this video and you're not in the know, or you not hip to like investing, growing your wealth, stuff like financial skills and stuff like that, this video was for you, man. I'm trying to put you on the game. And that way, once the bug gets in your ear, and it sparks your curiosity and you start investing, you get good at it. Now you starting to be consistent. You seeing your wealth grow and accelerating and whatnot. Now you can put somebody else on the game. You can reach back and put somebody else who may not be knowledgeable on the subject onto the game. You know what I'm saying? There's been times, right? I put a lot of money in my stock market or my investment accounts, my brokerage account, this and that over the years, and it's grown. There's been times I've been at work, right, and I check my brokerage account, man, I made more money in the stock market than I made just sitting at work, man. That's how you want it to be. You know what I'm saying, man? This is the next thing I'm gonna leave y'all with. I mentioned earlier that easy place to start at is investing in your employer's retirement account, right? But if you really want to take it a step further and accelerate your money, this is what I do, right? See, I work a lot of overtime at my job. I take a lot of advantage of the overtime, right? And what I do is You know, I'm working all these hours, but I'm not just blowing the money on dumb stuff. I may work so much overtime where it's like an extra $1,000 or $2,000 left after I pay my bills, taxes come out, my retirement account is funded. I take a lot of that money. I may throw an extra $1,000 into the stock market in my personal account. You know, I got a personal account with E-Trade. Who else do I have? I buy stocks on Cash App. Where else do I got Coinbase? I buy crypto as well. Is this another one? Those are like my main 3 accounts right there, man. So I'm not only in my I have my retirement account, I have personal accounts outside of work. You know, there's some stipulations with your retirement account. If you touch this money before you retire, they may tax you or they may give you a 10% penalty. So I need to have access to money outside of my retirement account. You know, just in case I need money for something, I want money for something, you know, if something were to come up, I don't have to borrow from my retirement account. I could just sell some of my stocks from my personal account to do what I need to do. You know, that way too, I see this with a lot of people, they retire, right? They didn't necessarily put in money in their personal account, but they have money in their retirement account. Sometimes, you know, I seen people, my coworkers at my job when they retire, they told me there may be like a 6-month gap between once you get your first retirement check from your last day of work. So you have to have some money in your outside brokerage accounts, you know what I'm saying, to bridge that gap so you can pay your bills, this and that, man. You know, y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. You got any input, any top advice, or, you know, you want to share some wisdom, you know, to add to this video, man, drop a comment. I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. I got the merchandise for sale on my website too as well, man. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.